Hi, I'm going to be reading from my book, A Fresh Look at Being Human, Evolving into Spirit Identification. It's a dialogue between myself and a spiritual seeker who asks questions to which I respond. The first one is, how can I feel so happy one minute and then feel so unhappy the next? If something horrible happens, such as the death of a loved one, it's understandable as to why this would make one feel unhappy. I feel that it's all too tempting to skip ahead to acting enlightened while on the spiritual path, and doing so can lead to suppression. It's better to experience the various stages of grief, denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance, authentically than to suppress them, and as the suppressed pain will manifest as interpersonal problems, physical problems, or even self-induced accidents that evoke pain. I sense that the variance in happiness that you're referring to is the moment-to-moment changing moods that occur throughout the day. Most shifts in mood relate to a threat to one's survival. There are two forms of survival-related fears that we experience regularly: physical survival and genetic survival. Threats to one's physical survival, such as losing one's job, being physically attacked, etc., shift one's mood into a fight-or-flight response. Threats to one's genetic survival, such as not being able to find a date, being dumped, and so on, operate on a more subtle level since the bodies we inhabit are pre-programmed for procreation. The sociobiological theory is based upon the idea that procreation is the motivation for pretty much all behavior. So when we perceive a threat to our romantic relationship success, we may feel unhappy because we don't feel that we're doing what we're here to do. However, as we shift from body identification to spirit identification, we realize that our purpose in life is not simply to pass along our DNA, it's to become our true self. When we feel threatened because of something a lover is doing, it's useful to keep in mind that it's not really a threat to our survival. It just feels that way. As you train your mind to shift from body identification to spirit identification, the panic associated with interpersonal problems lessens. You, with practice, can realize on a very deep level that your happiness is not dependent upon the behaviors of others. The worst thing that can happen is being abandoned, which ultimately is not a bad thing, because if a relationship is not meant to be, it simply creates the space for more authenticity in your life. If you behaved in an annoying way that led to the dissolution of the relationship, then there are lessons you can learn and work on, not repeating in future relationships. But there is no need for giving up or losing hope because you are not here to simply procreate. That served an important process on the planet for a long time, but now it is more important to feed the children who are alive than to create new ones. On the level of spirit, it is most important to walk the path you came here to walk, regardless of what your socialization has told you. Regarding physical survival, there are many things that occur that can feel like a threat to your life, but they are not. If your home blows a fuse, you get in a disagreement with your boss, or your checking account becomes overdrawn, you will most likely survive these events. Until your nervous system is rewired by your mind to not react to such threats as life endangering, it may feel as though small events are as scary as being attacked by a lion. The simple act of thinking about things not working out in the realm of love or money can be enough to shift our feelings. The external world may be exactly the same as it was a moment ago, but when we wonder, what if this happens, we can trigger the same kind of fears that are evoked by actual events. In fact, thoughts are often more painful than actual events because they are so repetitive. I don't believe in the necessity of physical death, but I do find the phrase, "A coward dies 1,000 deaths, but a brave person dies just one," to be a useful metaphor. Whatever occurs, we find that we can handle it. But when we are ruminating on negative thoughts, there is a feeling of helplessness and fear that cannot be solved with taking external action. On a subtle level, we wish to be placed in positions of being a hero, catching a baby thrown from a burning building or saving someone from being attacked, because it's something tangible that we can hold on to. But facing the internal demons of our thoughts is a silent and often isolative battle. Nonetheless, it's a truly heroic deed to change our way of interacting with ourselves and others towards healthy, pro-evolutionary patterns. To get back to your question, a shift in mood usually occurs as the result of a thought. As you spend less time focusing upon what others are doing or how you are being assessed, and more time observing your process, you can spot these thoughts. Oftentimes we can be going along through our day and a fear will enter our thoughts, leading to a gripping feeling of hopelessness. It seems so powerful that we can't control it, but we can. Feel what comes up for you. Observe it if it relates to either of the two false threats to your survival, physical or genetic. Through a deeper understanding of what comes up for you, you'll be better able to avoid feeling like a leaf blowing in the wind and more like a solid rock. Choose your attachments mindfully. You may become a slave to whatever it is that you find yourself successful at. My income is not dependent upon my book sales, so I don't feel like I'm a slave to my writing. This takes the pressure off the process and allows me to let my truth come out without attachment to whether or not people buy a lot of copies or want to come see me speak or anything like that. However, many writers become slaves to their success. They need people to buy their books so that they can support themselves, so they may unconsciously begin making up content that is simply a reiteration of what they've already said or doesn't really offer anything that is useful to the consumer. Healers who need you to come to their workshops may not evaluate whether or not what they're teaching could be improved upon because what they're already doing is making money. The universe is constantly expanding, and so is our need for truth. There are universal truths that seem to remain constant, but the manner in which they're expressed needs to constantly evolve. Do not give in to stagnation no matter what you do. If you find yourself attached to anything outside of your basic ability to survive and function, it may very well lead to a cyclical kind of frustration. If your attachments create enough pain, you'll question them and release them. I don't feel it's necessary to pretend you're not attached when you are. We are spirits in a chimp suit. With this suit comes many lessons, and as we learn these lessons, we can more effectively help others who are in the same kind of situations. For many people, life seems to be going well when their attachments seem to be working. Suffering rushes in when the attachments don't work. Dedicate yourself to living your truth. Your truth is unique. The universe has no need for imitators because it is constantly expanding. It is not stagnant. You are most likely out of touch with who you are, and although that's disillusioning, it's also exciting. I thought I was a group home manager at one point, and then my body started having severe panic attacks so that I couldn't pretend that everything was okay. Your body is your barometer. Tune in to what it is telling you by taking the time to observe how your feelings are reacting to your thoughts and to your life. You don't need to do any formal meditation to pay attention to what you're experiencing. You do, however, need to commit to your growth and put any temptation to fit in with the rest of the world on hold. The book is a fresh look at being human, evolving into spirit identification. It's available at UnificationDotCom if you're interested in checking it out. Thanks for listening.